Oh, shalom, my friends. Shalom and good high holidays time to you. This is Rabbi Sol Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And oh, what a thrill it is, and oh, what a joy it is to be talking to a talented person right here, an actor and a director. His name is STEVEN Dittmyer. Oh, he has studied with legends of the acting trade. And he is taught as well at the Neighborhood Playhouse and HB Studios, mostly in what they call the Meisner method, which I'm interested in because I'm Jewish and so is he. STEVEN Dittmyer has taught workshops around the world, and he has worked with everyone from Al Pacino to playwright Arthur Miller. This is mind-boggling to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, also the reason we're having him on right now is at this very moment a play he has directed is off Broadway or off somewhere in that range at the AMT Theater in Midtown between 8th and 9th Avenue. It's called Bettinger's Luggage, and we are happy to carry around with us STEVEN Dittmyer. Shalom, Stephen. Oi, Stephen, wait, you have to, hold on, you have to unmute your microphone there so you can say.
Hi.
Say hi, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Now, are you one of the tribe? Are you tribal? Are you one of us?
No, I'm not.
What are you? What do you follow? Are you probably one of those Buddhist people, or what are you?
No, I was raised Catholic, but I'm been in the arts, and I'm pretty liberal and pretty yeah.
Almost near Jewish. You're Jewish adjacent.
That's right.
So wait, Dittmyer, I would assume, now are you of Germanic or Austrian descent?
I'm very American, I'm Czechoslovakian, French, German, and Irish, and the Dittmyer part is German, yes, but I'm like a very American mutt, 5, 6 things.
But Czech first. I mean, it's interesting that you're for. So we will check you out on this program. Now,
All right.
little comedy there. So shalom to you. How? The first question, of course. How is Bettinger? Is it Ger or Jer? Bettinger's Luggage.
Bettinger's Luggage, yeah, and it's off Broadway. Just opened, excuse me, this last week, and to full houses, and it runs for 5 more weeks till October 26th at the brand new gorgeous AMT Theater, as you mentioned, on 45th Street.
So tell us what the show is about.
Yeah, at heart, it's about a father and son. It's about a Jewish family, father and son, who that father's father came over from Riga in 1912 and started a luggage business. And Al Tapper, the writer, it's based on real people and some events and real people that he knew. Bettinger's Luggage was a real store in Delancey Street back in the day, and we've even had on
with this explanation all these Delancey Street and a Bettinger store in Latvia. Was it in Latvia or
Riga, Latvia is where they came from. They came over in 1912, and the father did, and then his son, he had his son take over the business, and his son, who is the main character in the play, his son and Lou Bettinger took over the business in the for a long time in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and didn't want to really be in the luggage business. This Lou Bettinger, he wanted to be a veterinarian, to study medicine at NYU and be a vet, but his father, with the generational gap and stuff, the father didn't want him to do it.
This is ridiculous and stupid to me. You shouldn't bring a veterinarian, and then when the animal dies, you can make it into a suitcase. He could have combined both. It would have been fantastic.
Right. Yeah, and so
what is the conflict of the play? What is like at stake?
Yeah, well, it's really a father and son story, and we're in 1974 Delancey Street in the play, and Lou's running the story, has been for a while, and he has a son. His son now is in his mid-20s, George Bettinger. George wants to be a performer, a comedian, a stand-up. His idols are George Burns and people like that, and Groucho Marx,
And me, of course.
yeah, of course. And he really wants to be a performer, and he doesn't want to be in the luggage business. But the father, just like his father said, this is the best thing for you. I'm handing down a business to you. This
Yeah,
is what's, how I'm helping you.
that's right.
And so there's a big conflict with that. But what's really neat about the play is that it's 14 actors playing 25 roles. It's the whole life of Lower East Side with all these different ethnicities. And in the play, it's a Jewish family running this shop, but the next door neighbor is a different ethnicity, and it's an Italian, and it's an Irish guy with the hardware store, and the manager of the store is Puerto Rican, and it's really neat, all these different, and how they all come together and help each other. And that's one of the reasons Al wrote it, is to show, how we can all really get along and help each other.
Not to
It's a
mention what
very
almost a miracle it is to go to not even a Broadway show, but an off-Broadway. I see 14 people on stage. This does not happen.
Absolutely.
Every play written in the past 40 years is like 3 people on a walk-on.
Absolutely. I direct a lot, and I direct regionally, and I direct in Europe too. And it's 3, 4, I think the most is 6, 7 actors, it's mostly 3, 4, 5 actors. We call them that. They started becoming more and more couch plays. We call them couch plays, to make them simple and not cost as much. So this is a real treat. This play reminds me of the things I did years ago with Sanford Meisner and people like that. It has an Arthur Miller kind of
All right.
feel to it. Yeah.
Let's unpack this, because first of all, you not only teach the acting technique that Sandy Meisner taught, but you took courses with him, right? You knew him.
Yes. Yeah, I was very lucky. At the end, I was the last class to have him at the neighborhood playhouse 33 years ago. Yes. So I was very lucky. He was older then, so I had him and a great teacher named Richard Pinter. But we had Sandy, and 2 times a week, and we had Richard, and it was really fascinating, really something. Yeah, very lucky. I was very lucky to have him. And then when I graduated from the Playhouse, I did a final play. After your 2 years, you do a play at the end of your 2 years of studying, and I did a wonderful Arthur Miller play called "Memory of Two Mondays," which isn't done often. It's a one act that was when it originally performed, was a one act with View from the Bridge. A View from the Bridge was originally a one act, and it was paired with A Memory of Two Mondays, and I did A Memory of Two Mondays, and because of Sandy and the Playhouse and all the connections, I got to then work with Arthur Miller after that, on some readings and things and workshops of new plays, Broken Glass, and different, really amazing experience. Yeah.
So stop right there, because there's still, you're throwing things out, and I'm like, we need to unpack. So
Yeah.
we'll get back to Sandy Meisner, but do you have any stories or any anecdotes about arguably the greatest, maybe other than O'Neill, that playwright that America has ever seen?
Well, I just remember, I have a couple stories. One is that for me, a big memory is I remember we were doing a reading of Broken Glass, this at the time as a new play of Arthur's, and and he comes up to me after the reading, and he says, and I'll just, here Arthur Miller comes up, and we finished, and he says, I was the young one I was the young one, everyone else was legendary actors and stuff, and he comes up and he says, good job, you're going to be on Broadway someday. And that was a big thing to me, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
nice of him. And you have not done Broadway. You have not been.
I have not. I have not. Nope. Yep. I have not. But I've directed regionally and off Broadway, and this play is running off Broadway. Yeah.
So,
So
so in a way, who else was in that Memory of Two Mondays cast? Were there famous people in there?
No,
Uh,
The Memory of Two Mondays was my final play at the Neighborhood
right.
Playhouse,
But
the
did they
student
become famous
production.
later on? Those folks who were in, in your cohort, any of them are known names now?
Yeah, yes. Uh, oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now for a second. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting when because then I was at the Neighborhood Playhouse years later. There's 20 people that graduate every year, all those years, right, from the Playhouse. The first year there's around 75 students there were, and then the second year is a big cut, 20 asked back. Can you imagine? Like 55 people cut and 20 asked back. And out of all those graduating classes, I looked at it when I was there at the Playhouse. I looked at our files, and there was an average about five people per class that were still, were well-known actors and stuff in the business. So it's,
This is
yeah,
so when you directed or when you were working on the readings of Broken Glass, was Amy Irving already involved? Was
yeah.
David Dukes?
Uh,
I think he was in there
no,
already.
actually, it wasn't Amy Irving, but Ron Rifkin
Rifkin.
was.
Oh,
Ron Rifkin was, and it was uh, it was Ron Rifkin. It was I'm blanking on something that's so long ago. It was Ron Rifkin for sure, and
Jewish.
uh,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'll have
Just saying
to.
Jewish, right? Yeah. Because for people who don't know Broken Glass,
Oh, Sam Waterston, Ron Rifkin, and I'm blanking on
who was the woman who's
the
paralyzed
woman
or
that it
temporarily
wasn't Amy
paralyzed?
in the workshop of it. It was it'll come to me. Yeah, really
It will
great
come to me,
actress.
right?
Oh, Diane Wiest.
Oh my! And she's back off Broadway or Broadway as we speak. She's about to start in a new show just now.
Great.
She's
Oh,
still acting.
great.
Yeah. Oh, look
Great.
at that beast. So anyway, we're talking, by the way, with Steven Dittmeyer, who, as we said, got a lovely, lovely, nice little note. A note, I guess we would call it, from Arthur Miller. But what was special about Sandy Meisner? And also, I guess that feeds into the Meisner technique. So, in a brief way, tell us.
Yes. Really special. He was really a genius. I can. I teach all around the world master classes with actors, mostly professional actors, giving them everyone around the world wants to know what did Sandy teach these actors, that they see in films and all, in Hollywood and great stage actors. So I travel around the world. It's a tough job. I travel around the world giving master classes, acting classes, and working with actors. And I know the work very well. I studied, I was an actor 33 years ago studying it, and then I was asked back to train as a teacher at the Playhouse. So I spent a year and a half training of, to teach the method, the technique. So he was a genius. I can teach it, but these people that come up, how he came up with it's really something. But he just really broke down acting in its simplest forms. He said one of the toughest things as an actor to do is to be simple. You'll notice great actors, we watch them and it looks like they're doing nothing, they're just being, right? And we think, the world thinks, the everyday person thinks, oh, they're just being natural. They're not, well, Meisner said, takes 20 years
Well,
of technique.
there's a famous interview with Michael Caine when they asked him, "Well, Michael Caine, you're a famous actor. You're maybe what do you do?" And he said, "I hit my mark." You look on the, I hit my mark and look at the camera, and in some way he's being correct, and in other ways,
In some ways, in other ways, it takes a lot so what Sandy, when he broke it down, he said, okay, what's the first thing? He said, acting's really doing. He said to us, it's not pretending, not 1 second. Isn't that something? When a lot of people think, oh, it's about pretending. And Meisner, I came from really, I got a degree in pretending. When I think back about my, university in Florida, I got a degree really in pretending because that's how I was attacking it. I show up to New York to study with Sandy Meisner, and I think, okay, I've done 12 plays. I got a degree. He gets to work with an actor. Oh my God, it was the toughest year of my life because he said, Steve, you pretend, and I'm like, I thought it's acting. And he said, it's not pretending. It's under imaginary circumstances. We are, right? The story's under, even if it's based on true, it's still not it's not how life is, not true. It's imaginary, heightened. If it's any good, drama, comedy, it's heightened circumstances, right? Truth. And yes, actors, we need to be truthful. To be truthful, he said, you need to not pretend. Oh, that's interesting. Don't pretend at all, he said, under imaginary circumstances. So he said, what you have to do as an actor is find what you can really do. That's your job. Even though it's imaginary, what can you really do? What are the real doings? And the first thing he said that you can really do is listen, not show the audience you're listening, not pretend you're listening. I must have, when I was in college, I was showing Dave, the actors, in showing the audience that I was listening. Right, exactly. I was going,
It's like what I'm doing now. Were you talking just now? Oh, sorry.
yeah. Instead of just actually trusting to actually listen. And if you actually listen and let go of the brain, right? Because you can't be self-conscious. Any thinking when you're acting is self-conscious. You can't be self-conscious. Your focus can't be on yourself. So great actors, I'm here to tell you, they don't focus on themselves. They're completely off themselves. That's why you think they act natural, because they don't know what they're doing.
All right,
Can
but
you imagine
let me
that?
ask
They
you.
actually don't know what they're doing because they're not aware of themselves. I'm responding to you.
It's like me as a rabbi. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. But
Yeah.
let me ask you though. Okay, I get it in modern. If you have an actor who's playing in a modern contemporary piece, but how do you not pretend? Let's say when you're doing As You Like It, or a Shakespeare
Be-
play. How do you not? You got the costuming. The language is different. The circumstance. The Duke. You can be real, but you're pretending to be real.
this is what I'm telling you. For the actor is not, when we really start learning technique, they're not pretending to be real. They're doing everything they can in what they can for real. They can listen for real. They can start doing it. It gets a little more complicated. We're talking about character work and stuff, but character work is, who's it coming from? If you're playing that role in Shakespeare, who's playing the role? You are. If
Of
you're
course, yeah.
playing the role, you're playing it.
But
And
if
it's
I come on with this accent, being as natural and honest as I can, and as
right.
to be or not to be, that's a question.
Yeah.
It,
It's got to
uh,
come from, it comes from you though. And that's where you start finding the truth. You have to find a part of you. It comes all from you. Character, give you an example. Meisner said, character is not, a lot of people think that character is the putting on, acting is the putting on of a mask. When he said in reality, it's the taking off of masks to reveal you, a part of you, a part of you.
no, I got this.
Underneath
I mean,
imagining.
I do understand. At a certain point, you have to heighten things because you have to change the voice. Well,
Yeah.
my friend Dave just interviewed. Not for the show, but for a thing. Victoria Clark, Tony-winning
Yes.
actress who's known for
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent actress.
Well,
Yeah.
she had to work on it from essentially the outside in. She says she
Yes.
it was about how does this 16-year-old girl, she's 60
That's
something,
right.
how does she walk? How does she talk? What does she have to do to her voice as a 60-something-year-old actress when she sings and when she talks? And only then could she go internally and do.
Then yeah. So a lot of people. One reason I teach Meisner all around the world is because a lot of people, they just hear about Meisner about repetition. We haven't said this thing. Getting back to listening is to help you listen. But so they think it's just that. The first year, a good way to explain it is the first year is inside out, and the second year is outside in. But you see, an actress like Victoria Clark is so good first of being 100% truthful, really knowing how to really do, not pretend. So that's inside out, right? What everything that has meaning to her, right?
All right.
Using her imagination so things will touch her and she can work in a truthful way. Then we learned with Meisner the second year how to add character work outside in. And so it's a real combination, actually. So she's right, because she had to find, if you start doing things, Dave, that are affect you
Rabbi Sol.
physically.
See
Sal, sorry.
you have been listening. I'm Rabbi
Oh,
Sol, so you got to listen.
Sal. Good. Yeah, it's because of
Can't
the
be
name of
with
the
touch you
show.
on that. You're out of the reality of the what's going on here.
Oh, good. No, I kept being told by my publicist, my press person, that you're on Dave's show, she said.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Well,
So
let me actually let's try this to give it. Can we do that repetition thing? Like
yes, I'll
like
teach you a little bit of it. Yeah.
okay,
Um,
should we
um,
work? All right, yeah.
yeah. So it's you and I look at each other, right? And just relax, just like we were talking.
I'm
And
never
you
relaxed. I'm Jewish. All
yeah.
right. Yes.
And at first, when you very first start it, we do it simply with one or two words only, just so to be simple, you know. And it's really not about the words. One of the first things it teaches you is any word, any line can mean anything. If I say, I love you, look at me, I love you. It's
That's how I say it to my wife. So there you
yeah,
go.
but you see, it doesn't matter the words really. So words are words. Can you imagine we're studying with Meisner the first days and he says, can you imagine? Don't tell a writer this. He says, words have no meaning. What? What? Well, in an actor, it's because it's the behavior, it's what's going on. But we look at each other and you and I look at you, you look at me, and you say something, a physical observation. So, and then we, you know, so if you look at me, what would you say that you see in one or two words, a physical observation that you see of me?
Okay. Beard like me.
Yeah, that's three words. So
Oh,
you,
no, I'll do two. I was going to say messy hair. No offense.
yeah,
No
but
hair.
you see, yeah, but
Yeah,
you
I
see,
censored myself. I thought.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you start learning. Isn't something the brain wants to work. Your brain wants to be in charge. But in acting, can you imagine in acting? When you're acting, you don't use your brain 1 second, not 1 second. Isn't that something you have to let go of the brain? You have to not censor and use the brain. You have your impulses know everything. Your impulses are what's really truthful. You want to say thinning hair or whatever, you know, or balding
Well,
head
no,
or
your
whatever.
hair's beautiful, but it's messy. So there you go.
Yeah. So you say messy hair, you say, right? So that you, and if you say messy hair just for a second, yeah. Just
Messy
for,
hair.
yeah, I say messy hair,
Messy hair.
messy hair.
Messy hair.
Now, that's the start of it, but the first problem is you're pausing. You're doing big pauses, right? What? You're being in control of what you're saying. Let me show you what you were doing. Say black jacket.
Black jacket.
Black jacket. That's what you're doing. You're taking a pause, right? Because you're trying to, your brain wants to go. Okay, I want to be good. I want to do the exercise correctly. I want to be right. I heard black jacket, so now I'm going to repeat properly. That's not the exercise. That's the brain. You have to let go. So it has to be faster. You don't need, so no pausing is the first thing you learn because you don't need to think of anything. What's there to think about? You're given everything what to say. So if I look at you and I say, gray beard,
Gray beard.
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 gray beard.
Gray beard.
And that's already you're a
This is
little
great television, ladies and gentlemen. So,
yeah.
if we did that for 2 more minutes, would one of us get angry? Would one of us like? What would happen? You know?
Well, look what started to happen right there. You started going on the roller coaster ride there where you didn't pause to think and try to do it. So you have less time to be in control from your brain. So it starts happening a little. You wanted to even smile by that third one and you wanted to smile, but you said, no, I got to repeat. I got to repeat. No, you got to smile if you wanted to smile. You
Yeah.
get
I
me?
also, by the fifth time, I think I need a modification here, so I changed my voice on the first word.
Yes. So what was I telling you? You're in
I want
charge.
to bore
You're
the
thinking.
audience. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
can't think at all. So then we'll show them a little, we'll show the audience that now let's do it. Now it's in sentences now, but when you put it into sentence, into language, something changes. Because if I say to you, how do you repeat? Your job is to repeat me. If I say you're wearing glasses,
you're wearing
repeat.
glasses. Oh.
What's the problem in that? Am I wearing glasses?
No. No.
No. So something changes when you put it into language. When I say you're wearing glasses, how would you repeat the truth of what's being said? The honesty. How would you be honest to what I'm saying?
You're
If
wearing
I,
glasses. No.
huh?
My mind is going. You're wearing glasses.
I'm not wearing glasses. I
I'm not
said,
wearing
watch.
glasses. But
You have red on.
I have. Wait. Oh, sorry. You have red. Yeah.
No, I don't. You said it right. You got to not trust your brain. Trust your instinct.
But
I
I'm
said
supposed to just repeat, even though you're not wearing red. So.
you're supposed to repeat the truth. You have to listen and take in the meaning and what's
Well,
happening.
I would
So
say I'm not wearing red.
No, I didn't say I'm not wearing red. You said it right. You said your first instinct right away without thinking was I'm wearing you're wearing you said the right thing, but your brain started to work thinking, "Oh, I got to do the exercise right." If I say to you, you have uh, you have black strands of hair.
You have black strands of hair.
No,
I
you
repeat it instantly. It's not. Wait, you do have black strands of hair, honestly. But
Yeah,
okay,
I know. But let's try the glasses thing. You're wearing glasses.
you're
How would you
wearing.
repeat the truth of what I
Okay,
said? You're
repeat and truth are antithetical here because I'm repeating, but the truth is you're not wearing glasses.
Yeah, but you say tell me say you have messy hair.
You have messy hair.
I have messy hair.
You have messy hair.
I have messy hair.
You have messy hair.
Yes, I have messy hair.
Also, we're not repeating anymore.
Yes, we are. We're repeating. I'm repeating exactly what you
No, you
said.
said yes. You said
You
yes. I have messy.
I know, and what would you have to add? I was testing you. If I say yes, I have messy hair, how do you repeat?
Yeah, yes, you do have messy hair.
Yes, I do have messy hair.
I told you you have messy hair.
Yeah. Now listen, that's how it goes. But you just went where you can't change every second because it'll change by itself. You have to repeat. So remember, you changed it from yes, you have messy hair to yes, you do have messy hair.
Yes.
And did I catch it? I know how to listen 100%. So try it simple again for a second. Watch.
Not changing a word. Not changing one word.
No, you can if you have to. This is the hardest thing in the beginning of people to learn the Meisner technique. If I say to you, you're a funny guy, how would you repeat what I just said? The meaning. You're a funny guy.
You're a funny guy.
No, I didn't say.
Are you saying it about me and I'm thinking it's about, or not thinking? I'm
Not thinking. That's right. Not thinking. You don't have to think. You have
I
to
would say
listen.
thank you is what I would say.
Yeah, but that's conversation. And Meisner said you don't need to learn conversation. You need to learn to listen 100%.
But so you tell me you're a funny guy. I go, thank you, I'm a funny guy, or do I say you're a funny guy?
You have to repeat exactly what I say. Watch. Ready? Ready? Real simple. You have something on your head.
You have something on your head.
No, I said you have something.
Yeah.
You have something on your head. So the first thing you have to learn, Saul,
is let you do this with yourself because I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
You're having it. It's tough. Tell me something you see of me in a sentence. Watch.
Fine. Okay. You have broad shoulders.
I have broad shoulders. Now, your job is to repeat me. I just said, I have broad shoulders.
You have broad shoulders.
I have broad shoulders.
But you just changed the language.
No,
so
I didn't.
I have, you have, I have. So you are
because
exactly repeating.
It's repeating, but when you put it into language, you have to be truthful. You have to first work. The repetition changes as you work from the honesty of your answer. I say, you're touching your face.
I am touching my face.
You are touching your face.
I am touching my face. Well, I was.
You stop.
I was touching my face. That's
what you can't. But see how you stop and you're thinking and you're trying to control. And guess how tough acting is. You have to let go of all that and just put your focus constantly on me, where you can listen. If you listen, you'll catch everything.
Wow.
It's not easy. If it was easy, we'd all be Meryl Streep.
Meryl's she's bigger hair. But first of all, this is delightful, and I wish I could keep doing this, and also talking more about you and other experiences you've had. But amazingly enough, we're coming up on the half hour for this interview. You're sticking around, thank God, because you're going to stay and play our wonderful Today, Yesterday quiz with Dave, with former actress and theater critic Leslie Hoban Blake, and also
I know Leslie Hoban Blake.
You know Leslie Hoban Blake? Oh my God!
Yes.
And I'll bet you know our other guest. He is an actor and a director, and you would know the person. He has a one-man show where he has played Harold Clurman. His name is Ronald Rand.
Cool. Yes, it's all from the
soul of the American
Harold Clurman. Yeah, and yeah, great.
So let me. You know what? I'm going to force you to do this because you pissed me off so much. So I have to go get Dave to come back onto the show. I've got to go. By the way, I thank you. And I tell everybody, please go see Bettinger's Luggage. It's running now through October 26th at the AMT Theater in Midtown. It's on 45th between 8th and 9th. It's a comedy drama, right?
Yes, it's a very touching, funny story it's a beautiful story about this Jewish family and very touching as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go and touch yourself at Benton's. No, wait, Benton's Luggage. Get your tickets now. It's by Al Tapper, who's been on this program too. So it's all home week too, and you're sure you will enjoy it. Now, do not go away. It'll take me a minute to get Dave and bring him in. While
Great.
I'm doing that, you do the goddamn exercise yourself, and let's see how this really works. Do it.
Well,
Back and
you
forth.
want me to
Yeah.
you want me to explain a little bit about it? Continue while you're
Either one. Go ahead. Go ahead. I've got to go. This is Steven Dittmyer, and Dave will be right with us. You go. Go ahead. Go ahead.